Okay, so let's start setting up our scene. Before we jump right in, let's actually go ahead and change our grid size though. We're going to be bringing in the tile map and the tile background. So let's change this, make it a little bit more manageable by going with 16 by 16. Okay. Now then, the first thing we're going to do, actually come over here before we jump into as well. Make sure and name all of your layers. We're going to have only 2 layers, but go ahead and name this one. I named mine BG for background. Whatever you want to name it. And let's bring in a tile background. And so this time we're just going to pick a color to make our sky. Whatever color you like, and you get the bucket tool and go ahead and paint it. You can make whatever color you want. And then we're going to reposition it. So go over here to position and type in, and we're going to go 0 by 0. 0 comma space 0. And then we want to change its size so that it matches our background. So I believe it's 2560 by 720. Yes. So there we go. That is my background. Now let's go ahead and we're going to do show grid. This is going to show us the grid system. So we set it up 16 by 16. And these would be larger obviously if we had it still at 32 by 32. And then snap to grid. And that'll make it where when we're adding things they will snap in the grid that is here. And that will make it easier, although at times we'll have to take it off depending. I'll show you why. When we start bringing it in, I'll make it a little bit easier to understand with some visual help. So, but first thing, let's work on our background. Let's go ahead and bring in a tile map. So I'm going to go ahead, we're going to go to our OPP assets that you downloaded. Go to environment and let's look for tiles and then look for jungle. And so I'm going to start, because we're doing a background right now, I'm going to start with this guy. Get a vine in the background or something. Okay. And then here's my tile map, but if yours is not down, tile map editor, you can come over here to bars and then tile map bar. Okay. So over here we're going to be using our draw tool. So we click on this and let's pick out what we want from this. I'm going to go ahead and just take this whole side. I'm going to post them in over here somewhere. And then I'm going to slide over. I'm just going to kind of bring it in the way it was set up. Cool. And so I think we're going to have to overlap. Yeah, we have to overlap right here. We're going to take away that back piece and make it look like that. Okay. So that's all I'm going to do with that one. In order to get off the tile map editor, you always have to click that or else you're going to be screwed. So double click again. I'm bringing in another tile map. We're going to have 2 different tile maps going on here. So I'm going to go with, we'll do a tree later. I'm going to do a mountain right now in the background. So let's do this. So you can, obviously you hold down left click and then you can scroll over and you can select it all. And then you have to have this selected. And if you ever want to obviously delete something, boom, there's your erase. That is an easy way to erase stuff. Obviously you can go back if it's immediate, but if you need to get rid of something that's already been added and it's been there for a while, that is the easiest way to do it. Alright, let me see something real quick. We're going to try to make this work. So this is how we do our slope. See, I might have to get rid of where my mountain is. Alright. Well, let's do our... And you don't have to do it... That way I just know the exact size of it. That's the only reason I used that again. Nope, we want to draw. Okay. And then we're going to add in on all of these guys, we've got to come back and unfortunately do this. And then we can kind of pencil in the darker areas. I wonder, I got an idea. We'll do something. I'll show you guys a few little things you'd probably figure out on your own, but this way you can see it done before you get started. So we're going to go ahead and just take this, fill in this, and then go with our boom, and done. Okay. And so there's our mountain. We're going to do something else. Let's come back to this guy. Oh, whoopsie. You want to change your tile map. And let me see if I can't. Oh, I see. So this can give us some trouble getting to it because of that. So we'll do this, move that up, and then we'll come over here to our other tile map. Make that longer, and then we'll reposition you where you need to be, which 0, 0. Cool. Cool. Now I have it overlapping it, which is exactly what we wanted. Perfect. Okay, so let's bring in a few other things like let's say some clouds and a few other things. Let's see what all we've got. So this time we're going to go with a sprite. We need to name our tile backgrounds too. So we're going to bring in a sprite. And I'm going to go with a cloud. We're going to go to our environment assets, background, and they've got some clouds in here, which is pretty cool. So let's go ahead and bring in one of these guys. Okay, put them up here. And this guy right now is being named Spray One. Let's go ahead and rename it. And let's go with Cloud 1. And then we can keep the tiled backgrounds that, and then for the tile maps, you can rename them if you want to. Like for example, we can call this one T, and then we can go with so, and this one I think is just empty, so we're gonna get rid of that. Yes. Okay. So there we go. Now we have stuff renamed, and let's bring in, let's do another cloud. Oh, whoopsie. So if you double click there, since it's not locked, it will go click on the tile map, which is that way we can edit it more later. Let's bring in another sprite, and this time I'm going to bring in the cluster cloud I saw. I'm going to show you guys what to do with this. So you can come in here and you can use these tools, which is very useful because they have these in engine to crop out what you want. And boom. Now we've got another unique cloud that was from a strip. And then another thing, if you hold down, I believe it's Alt, and oh, that's Control. If you hold down Control and drag, then you will be able to copy an item. So now we have two clouds under one sprite name. So we can rename this one Cloud 2, and we've got ourselves a sprite that's being tied together. And actually we can manipulate this as many times as we want to, or we can do it with this one right here and really, you know, change it up some. But yeah, so that's how we bring in our clouds. Okay, so let's move to our main layer where our guy's going to be walking and doing all of his stuff. Let's come in here and let's go ahead and actually lock the background. Let's right click and let's add a layer to the top. And I'm going to name mine main. Oh, oopsie. There we go. Okay, so let's bring in a tile map. And it should be, cool, that should be locked now. So I'm going to come back to our jungle. And I'm going to go, I guess we'll just do these guys right here. This looks good. Okay. Now then, we've got this right here. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to change our grid size. We're going to go 16 by 16 over here. Or with our tile size, so it'll fit the grid perfectly. Okay. And so we look over here, we have a smaller area that we're going to be picking up on. But if you see it here as well, when we click this top part, the problem is if we bring this in, if we were to bring in, for example, all of this right here, now you can see it over here, but you can't see it over here. There's that little invisible layer up top. When we bring in our character, it can cause us some issues. There are a few ways to get around that. But first, for right now, just to make it easiest, we're going to go ahead and we're just going to bring in this. And this will look fine, I promise. So I'm going to do like that, and then put it in like right there. And then I'm going to take this little middle section and continue on, like right there. And then we'll add in the end piece. Oh, yep. So you can add the grass to the front or the back, or you can make it not a solid piece so that you walk in it. So those are all options with this. Right now we're just going to make our platforms look like this so it's easy to go ahead and get our guy in and start playing around with them. Let's see. Let's go with bam. And I'll actually make that work. We'll work with that. Okay. So cool. And we need an end. Let's actually do a little bit right there as well. Okay. And let's have a little platform up here. Okay. So now this is just so we can have some platforms to jump around on. And yeah, there we go. That's a basic, very simple, easy way to set up your tile map. This is obviously just so we can play around and add in our mechanics and see what they work like or look like, and how they work, and how to implement them in the event sheet and stuff like that. And yeah, there we go. That is our first part. Next we're going to bring in our character, and we're going to go ahead and start doing animations, and we're going to add run, jump, double jump, all that stuff. And then we will bring in some enemies. But yeah, guys, I will see you guys in the next video.